about last week where he has played a little bit better. What a pass by Rondo.
That might be the dagger.
Why not? Why can't I be the MVP of the league? Why can't I be the best player in the league?
The Lakers repeat back-to-back titles. The LA Lakers, the 2010 NBA champions.
Wow, ranking the Rookie of the Years from the 2010s. Do you know that I almost didn't even remember who actually won in the year 2010? Yeah, this is going to be fun because each player that we talk about, we're going to be able to think about where they are today compared to where we thought they were going to be when they actually won the Rookie of the Year. And I'm not going to lie, I had to go back and forth on this list for a couple of spots. However, you will not have to go back and forth on your seating options to next year's sporting events thanks to the SeatGeek app. The SeatGeek app pulls tickets from all over the web, so buying is really easy, and it also assures you'll be getting the best value for your ticket. While doing your search, each ticket is ranked with a score from 1 to 100 that lets you know if you're getting a good deal or not for your purchase. And on top of that, it gives you a detailed view of what you would actually see from your seat if you were actually there. If you're interested in this app, the link to download will be in both the comment section and the description. Consider using my promo code DOM2K to get 20% off your first purchase. At number 10, I highly doubt this one is even up for debate. Malcolm Brogdon definitely has the least impressive Rookie of the Year of the 2010s, and especially when you consider how he actually won it. 10 points a game, 4 assists, 1 steal. Shot 45% from the field, definitely wasn't a bad player by any stretch of imagination, and he still isn't. He was a very integral part of the Bucks last year. He's now moved on and he's shown improvement every season. But in 2017, especially if you remember actually going through this race, he really only won Rookie of the Year because Joel Embiid played like 20-30 games that year? 31 games. What I remember about 2017 was looking at Joel Embiid's per 36 minutes and talking about just how effective he was going to be when he actually got to see floor time. Remember, during his rookie season, through the 31 games he played, he was only playing an average of 25 minutes per game. Even with that, he was able to put up 20 points and 8 rebounds, so we all looked at that and said, man, when he actually gets some minutes, when he's healthy, he's gonna be, well, what he's actually turned out to be, which he was in MVP conversations last year, and that's through, what, 3 seasons? So yeah, this was just a very awkward Rookie of the Year ceremony. I still remember when it came on, it was like, man, look, they had to give it to somebody, right? It's not like they could just leave the award on the shelf. 2017 was a very underwhelming class, and this is a very underwhelming winner, but again, he's definitely turned into a good player, so it's really not about where you start. Oh yeah, he also dunked on both LeBron James and Kyrie Irving in the same game during his rookie year, so sorry Dario Saric. At number 9, yes, once upon a time, Andrew Wiggins was the Rookie of the Year in the National Basketball Association. What the hell happened? Why, 5 years later, is he averaging 18 points on 41% still? You don't understand the hype level surrounding him and Jabari Parker upon entering the league. Like, just put it this way, before Kevin Love played third fiddle on the Cavaliers, he was looked at as a superstar power forward. Definitely one of the better power forwards that we had in our league, and the Wolves felt comfortable enough trading him away for Andrew Wiggins, who was 19 and had not played a single game against NBA competition. We didn't actually know what he was going to be, but they felt comfortable enough to do that. The winning numbers for him were 17 points a game, 5 rebounds, and 2 assists. Also throw in a steal, and 44% from the field, 31% from 3. So back in 2015, of course, the Wolves are a terrible team. They only won 16 games that year. Oh gosh, that's just horrendous. So he was no rookie savior, as most rookies never really are, but most people looked at it and said, hey, a guy coming in averaging 17 and 5, shooting inefficiently on a bad team, whatever, we can see the potential there. He definitely had the tools. Years later, he's averaging 1 more point and shooting worse. When Wiggins went up against Kobe for the first time, we tried to make it like some passing of the torch type thing. You know how when Kobe played Jordan, not that we expected Wiggins to be Jordan, but we expected so much from him that was a very special game. It was a special event to see them square off. After that game, Kobe Bryant said, and I quote, like looking at a reflection of myself 19 years ago. So if you were looking at that game as some monumental event, do not feel bad, we all were. It's hilarious to laugh about years later and look back at, but that was the general feeling around Wiggins in his rookie year. And you know what the weirdest thing is? By 2017, he actually had gotten better 2 seasons in. He was averaging 24 points a game and he had got it up to 45% and 35% from 3. And do you want to know when his numbers fell? It was when the Wolves gave him a really nice and lucrative contract on the contingency that he would promise to get better. That's all it took Wolves management. So in the 2 seasons since then, he's only gotten worse, much worse, and in 2023, which is the last year of his contract with the Wolves, he is owed $33.3 million. So yeah, his rookie year was very meh. He only had to beat out Nikola Mirotic, that was who came in second place. Then you had guys like Nerlens Noel and Elfrid Payton. Jabari Parker tore his ACL very early on, so that would have been his competition maybe. Other than that, yeah, there was really no way that he wasn't gonna win it. He just had to come in and do what we thought Andrew Wiggins might do. Not a great rookie year, no real visible effect on the team itself. And man, I hope the best for him. I hope he can turn it around, but so far it's been ugly. At number 8, oh yeah, it is starting to get fun. I'm gonna go Kyrie Irving, surprisingly. Kyrie had a pretty solid rookie season and did not have a whole lot of competition to go against to win it, but he came into a terrible Cavaliers team, one that was left in carnage from the LeBron James decision. This is 2 years later, and this is during the lockout season as well, so remember that because there's less practice time, not in as good of condition as you would be during a regular NBA season. Anyways, he comes up with 19 points, a steal, 5 assists, 4 rebounds, shoots 47% from the field and 40% from 3, so pretty good rookie numbers, but that's not all because the man came into the league with the clutch gene. He led all rookies in fourth quarter scoring that year at 6.4 points, and that also ranked him 5th overall behind other all-stars Kevin Durant, Kobe Bryant, Derrick Rose, and Kevin Love. He then led all rookies in scoring in the final 3 minutes of games at 3.2 points, and he was only behind Chris Paul for that record. He had 3 game-winning baskets or go-ahead free throws to lead the Cavaliers to wins. Basically what I'm saying is that monumental shot, the biggest shot in Cavaliers franchise history, and one of the biggest shots in NBA history, it was obviously not a fluke. The man came into the league prepared for that type of moment. And wow, it does not feel like he's almost been in the NBA for 10 years. Here we are in 2020, he is on to his 3rd NBA team, and we're just left wondering if he's ever going to be the leader that he wanted to be when he joined the Boston Celtics or when he was traded there. His rookie year was very telling of the type of career he was going to have. One of the better offensive point guards, possibly the best ball handler in NBA history, so he really hasn't deviated much from what he showed in 2012. Of course, you may have noticed that Kawhi Leonard was a rookie with him that year, but you should know by now that it took Kawhi a bit of time to actually break out, and here we are today, he's actually the better player. Anyways, right behind him was Ricky Rubio and Kenneth Faried in the actual Rookie of the Year voting, so he came in as the first pick, had first pick expectations, and played like a first pick. That being said, there were definitely more impressive winners. And maybe you disagree, but I think Michael Carter-Williams is one of them. And how does that work? If you think of Michael Carter-Williams and Kyrie Irving in the 2020 season, you really might not remember that MCW came into the league with one of the greatest rookie fakeouts of all time. His first game was against the Miami Heat, the Big 3 Miami Heat. It was a win on a team that went on to only win 19 games that season. He put up 22 points on 6 of 10 shooting, 12 assists, 7 rebounds, and 9 steals. That was in his first game against the Big 3 Heat. At the time, that stat line had only been marked off twice in NBA history. 9 steals was of course the most for any player in a debut. No player had 22 and 12 in a debut since 1985. The 9 steals tied a Sixers franchise record, and at that point, only 4 other players had a double-double in their debut. Now that one's hard to believe, but it was Damian Lillard, Spud Webb, Jason Kidd, and Damon Stoudemire. So that one game was pretty indicative of his actual ability because during the season, he went on to average 17 points, 6 rebounds, 6 assists, and 2 steals. So his first game, he demonstrated a lot of versatility that he was able to maintain throughout the season. That made him only the 3rd rookie since the 1951 season to lead all rookies in scoring, rebounding, and assists. 1951, nobody even knows who played back then. So after watching his rookie season and especially his first game, most people might have thought he was a certified superstar, that he was going to be the future of the Sixers. It was very easy to be misled and think that at the time. Of course, we know by now that his numbers have nosedived, he's played for multiple teams, and most people would probably think that he is hanging on by a thread. He's got a shot in Orlando, but before that, he had only played 16 games for the Houston Rockets before being shipped off. He's a tall point guard trying to find his way in a league where he really can't shoot, so a very underwhelming career for what was an outstanding rookie year. At number 6, our guy Logo Lillard, who has never disappointed. He came into the NBA as one of those rare seasoned 4-year players, so he was already 22 years old, and it really paid off for him. He averaged 19 points, 7 assists, and he set some good records. At that point, he was just the 4th unanimous NBA Rookie of the Year in league history. That put him next to Blake Griffin, David Robinson, and Ralph Sampson. He joined Oscar Robertson and Allen Iverson as the only 3 rookies in NBA history to have at least 1,500 points and 500 assists. He broke Steph Curry's NBA rookie record for 3-pointers made in a season with 185. And I find that ironic because I've said in a previous video that aside from Steph Curry, Lillard is one of the only other players that you have to consistently worry about shooting from the logo. And that was before the Paul George shot. Oh yeah, and he led the NBA in minutes played, like total. So he was the first rookie to do that since Elvin Hayes in 1969. He was the NBA Western Conference Rookie of the Month for all 6 months, so we never really care about week or month awards, but he was just one of 8 players to do that, so a lot of special company for a special player very early on. Another thing that feels important to mention here is that Lillard did have the most wins for a rookie on this list so far that was actually starting a majority of his games. So of course we remember that the Rookie of the Year defaulted to Malcolm Brogdon in 2017. That was a part of a Bucks team where he was not the main focus. Meanwhile, Lillard stepped into a team where he was basically 1B, as LaMarcus Aldridge probably was still the best player at the time, and the Blazers went from 28 to 33 wins, so not anything super impressive, but it is the most impressive record on this list so far. Also, his first game was against what was supposed to be the new Lakers super team, the one with Kobe, Howard, Gasol, and that was a win for the Blazers. He had 23 points and 11 assists, so from his very first action on an NBA floor, he demonstrated superstar capabilities and he really hasn't disappointed. The only disappointing thing is that he chooses to stay in Portland, which, you know, again, loyalty, we all respect it, but it's starting to feel more and more like that team is never going to surround him with the talent necessary to actually contend. Either way, his rookie year did not lie, and he won Rookie of the Year over guys like Anthony Davis, Bradley Beal, and Andre Drummond, so those are all very reputable players in our league today. It wasn't like they were just nobodies, and they were all putting up pretty decent numbers for rookies as well. And now we are on to the top 5. Yeah, give me Tyreke Evans. Yet another extremely misleading NBA Rookie of the Year award. Here we are nearly 10 years later, and if you told me that a guy who was averaging 20 points, 2 steals, 6 assists, and 5 rebounds a game, on 45% efficiency by the way, wasn't going to have at least an MVP award by his name in the year 2020, yeah, I just can't believe it. At the time, he joined Michael Jordan, LeBron James, Oscar Robertson, yeah, actually just them. He was the 4th player ever to average 25 and 5 as a rookie. Evans was mostly a point guard in his rookie year, so what did that remind you of? He's 6'6", that's very big for a point guard, and he's extremely versatile. Those abilities reminded you of LeBron James. Of course, the way he played, not nearly as athletic or really just dominant, but to even be mentioned in the same sentence as a rookie. When Kobe Bryant was asked to talk about him after playing against him and Curry, Kobe Bryant just said, "grown man." And yeah, I just feel like this one is pretty self-explanatory. He actually did narrowly beat Steph Curry for Rookie of the Year in 2010. Curry had a shot at it, and he played 80 games that year, so it wasn't injuries. So it's definitely funny to look how that turned out, how it turned out nearly 10 years later. Amazing rookie season, but his numbers just dipped pretty much every year after this. He was still a decent role player. Even as early as 2018 NBA season, he was averaging 19 points in Memphis. He could still hoop, but now he is out of the league for now, maybe forever, because he has violated the NBA's anti-drug policy. He did not have the effect on the Pacers that any of us thought he might have. Yeah, just what a shame, man. This was a great young player. But nonetheless, his rookie season does stand top 5 for me, regardless of what happened the rest of his career, obviously. At number 4, Karl Towns came into this league a grown man, and for the most part, I would say he is now around where we thought he would be. He had rookie season averages of 18 points, 11 rebounds, 2 blocks, shot 54% from the field, and 34% from 3, and again, this is as a center. Played all 82 games, and guess what? He was unanimously the Rookie of the Year. He became the 5th player to do that. His points, rebounds, block shots, and field goal percentage, those were all Minnesota rookie records. As a matter of fact, that season, he was only 1 block away from being top 5 in blocks in his rookie season. That's pretty impressive. And he was already top 5 in rebounding. So yeah, dominant rookie season. Team still sucked, but hey, what are you gonna do? It's Minnesota. The kid is already a 2-time All-Star and he is only 23 years old, so I don't think people realize that when you look at like 2017, he was already averaging 25 points and 12 rebounds. That was his sophomore season, and he's pretty much hanging around there today. I think at this point, most people are waiting for Minnesota to pull a miracle and get him some like real help that's not going to take the 3rd string in practice and bully him and his friends, or hell, seeing him traded, because that was a thing last summer that was being talked about somehow. somehow already. So before we move on to the final three, I will go ahead and say it now. These are probably going to be the most contested because they are all amazing rookie seasons. To some of y'all, they are only air quotes rookie seasons, and honestly there's a way to justify all three being put at number one, so this is just my order, and that's why we have a comment section. You can put your order there. At number 3, I am going to go Blake Griffin, who also came into the NBA a grown-ass man. Well, he was only 21 years old, but he became the first unanimous rookie of the year since David Robinson. Guy was averaging 23 points, 12 rebounds, shot 50% from the field, and he had a season high of 47 points, so that's as a rookie scoring 47 points in a game. A rookie was captivating us all at All-Star Weekend, and not that that counts toward the ranking, but I bring that up to remind you that awaiting Blake Griffin's debut felt something similar to awaiting Zion's in the excitement factor, because of course Zion is the most hyped prospect since LeBron James. Blake Griffin does not fit that category, but if you had seen Blake Griffin highlights before he made it to the NBA, then you were basically waiting and expecting things like him damn near jumping over Mozgov, him murdering Gasol twice in a game, him palming the back of Kendrick Perkins' head while he rose like to the point his elbow wasn't his elbow like matching the square on the backboard or something? I don't know. I woke up that morning, that was like the dunk heard around the world. But what made his rookie year especially entertaining and impressive was the fact that he was an athletic guy. He was a player who really depended heavily on athleticism, and he missed his actual rookie year, which was supposed to be the 2010 season, and he missed it with a fractured or broken kneecap. So as soon as that happened, because it happened in a preseason game, we were already worried about him being a bust, and he put those to sleep pretty quickly. He led all rookies in scoring and rebounding, and he actually ranked second among rookies in assists. He was the first rookie all-star since Yao Ming in 2003. And then he went out and won the dunk contest, so again, doesn't count, but just to show you the glitz and glamour that was his rookie year. He also became the first rookie to average 20 and 10 since Elton Brand in the year 2000. So very special rookie year, very kick-ass rookie year, and it's hilarious how nobody cared that he missed his entire 2010 season and then came back and won rookie of the year without hearing any of the slander that Ben Simmons heard. Now of course social media was nowhere near as pronounced back then as it is now. Everyone has a voice, everyone can send a dumbass tweet, but yeah, he swept a rookie of the year field that included John Wall and DeMarcus Cousins. So impressive all around, impressive performance, impressive competition, and impressive comeback. I feel like that's the part that people underrate from my number 2 pick, Ben Simmons. People just act like you sit out a year and you're supposed to be this great player when you come back. Like no, they sat out a year. Those were both lower body injuries. Those can affect your career going forward for how many ever years. And Blake Griffin did become known for being injury prone. However, here we are in the 2019 year, and he refined his game to become an all-star for the first time since 2016. Now he relies more heavily on the three-point shot, on outside skills. You don't really see the same jaw-dropping posters that you saw early on. So yeah, Ben Simmons will be my number 2 pick, and he made his broken foot or whatever that was a thing of the past. We saw a big point guard and we immediately thought, man, that foot could be a serious problem for years to come, and it hasn't popped up once so far. He doesn't have an injury prone label. And as far as his rookie of the year stats go, it was pretty clear cut. 16 points, 2 steals, 8 assists, 8 rebounds, and shot 54% from the field. And this is where things get funny, because his 3-point percentage is 0. He has not one 3-point field goal in his career, yet alone his rookie year, and he was still able to be that efficient in an era where you really should be able to shoot to spread the floor, or else guys kind of know where you're going. So since his rookie year, he's been able to do everything besides shoot. What's also worthy of noting is that the 76ers went from 28 and 54 in the year that he didn't play, that was his gap year, to 52 and 30 the very next year. Now, we're gonna put context there. Obviously, him and Embiid, he probably had a better rookie situation as far as a roster than anybody on this list. But you've also got to remember that if he doesn't debut in the year 2018, they probably don't win anywhere near 52 games, even with Embiid. He was a huge part of what became maybe even an expectation that they could reach the NBA Finals in his rookie season. Of course, we got to the playoffs and it just mattered entirely too much that he couldn't shoot a lick, but the season was awesome. He had 12 triple-doubles, which was second to only Oscar Robertson for a player in his rookie season. And yeah, this was his first season playing in the NBA, period. He was flirting with a triple-double average. When you combine that with the team's win totals, it really seemed like people were just they just wanted something to talk about with the whole Donovan Mitchell thing. It was very clear Mitchell wasn't going to get it. Then he got all extra with the whole rookie thing, the shirt and the van he pulled up in. And I just look at this all very simple. Look, if you haven't played basketball in the National Basketball Association, you can study all you want, which that's the argument, right? Is that he was able to sit in, he was able to be around an NBA team all year and just kind of learn how to move. So sure, that's an advantage over anybody else coming out of college, which is a much different environment. But that year of sitting out does not make you what Ben Simmons was and is. On top of the fact that foot injuries don't just heal and magically go away, there could be complications there. So just like Blake Griffin after the year that he sat out, they came in and was on some real grown man shit. They deserved it. However, given the context, the 52 win total is not going to make me put him over Luka Doncic. Doncic also came in on some grown man shit, and he is 19 years old. He's played professionally for a while, so there's that, but it showed. 21 points a game, 6 assists, 8 rebounds, a steal. Very low efficiency, however, 42% overall, but there is more to back up his first place standing here. First of all, addressing the win total, just how Ben Simmons was able to play with Embiid. Now Luka in his second year is going to have Kristaps, and I'm thinking, what if he had Kristaps in his first year like Ben Simmons had Embiid? I think the win total would have been higher. On top of that, Doncic just had a lot going for him. That 21, 8, and 6, it's a stat line that's only matched by Oscar Robertson. If you're looking at rookies that averaged 26 and 5, the only other one was Michael Jordan. If you open up the criteria for that stat, you find that only a few other players in the last 15 years have even done it. That list goes to LeBron James, James Harden, and Russell Westbrook. He finished 10th overall, not just from rookies, but overall, and points scored in the clutch. He ranked 3rd all time in 3-pointers made for rookies, and to top it all off, he is the youngest player in NBA history to record a triple-double. The thing that's impressive is that you could not even know his stats, just watch the highlight reel, it's one of the most impressive ones of this season, and then come back to the stat line and just imagine for a second a 19-year-old averaging 21, 8, and 6. That's in a rookie season. What is that going to be in 3 or 4 years? What about when his efficiency inevitably goes up, or at least it should, because he's got another star to share the defensive attention with? Yeah, no, Luka's stat line isn't even just impressive for a rookie, it's just impressive for an NBA player, period. I also think that his style of play is just most conducive to winning basketball, so if you look at Blake and you're like, yeah, he also had an amazing stat line for just an NBA player in general, if I'm gonna have other good players on the team, which rookies most of the time don't, I want Luka, and that's why I'm gonna give him the best rookie of the year for the 2010s. So let me know if you agree or disagree with this list. Make sure to leave your list in the comment section, hit the like button, comment, and sub if you enjoyed, and hit the bell next to my name if you want notifications when the next 2010s list drops. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all on the next one.